Welcome back, guys. We are continuing on with these Mechabellum replays, and this next match is one of, if not the longest matches I've ever played, and it's against the highest ranking player I've ever played. Now, I'm not 100% sure what rank he is, but I'm pretty sure he's in the top 10 or maybe even top 5 on the English speaking server. So yeah, it was carnage, absolute carnage. Now I have gone for elite specialist, so I'm playing outside of my comfort zone a bit. Elite specialist is not something that I go for very often, but I just wanted to see if I could make it work. It's obviously something that I don't have much practice with, so the only way you get better is by practicing. And what I found was using the field recovery to sell one of your 200 cost units is the best way to go, so you can get 2 level 2 units out on round 1. It comes at the cost of one of your expensive units, but I feel like it is a good trade to get a level 2 tier 1 unit out instead of a level 1 tier 2 unit. And I've decided to go for a different strategy to normal, and I'm not employing any smaller units like the crawlers or the fangs. So the idea is to just have only large units, and unfortunately it didn't work out too good at the beginning. His phoenixes didn't have anything small to target, so they were able to just blast away at my higher health units. So there's a few different choices here that we could go for. The mass-produced Overlord would have been nice if I wasn't elite specialist, but it's just far too costly. Missile Strike is obviously good, the item's good, but mainly for giants, which I'm not really intending on going for. So I decided to go for the Wasp Swarm instead of the Missile Strike. It feels to me like the Wasp Swarm would be good against the Phoenixes. I decided to put it at the back so they don't get targeted immediately. It might have been a better idea to put them over here to try and deal with the Phoenixes, but I assumed they were going to be putting some Mustangs down. But apparently they actually went for more Phoenixes, so the Wasp Swarm here would have worked wonders. But sadly, I played conservatively with it, and I've put it at the back. That should give a bit of protection to these units, so it still might turn out alright. I've sold the other sledgehammer so I can bring in a couple more level 1 units, level 2 units, sorry. And unfortunately, the Wasp Swarm did not help in protecting any of these units or these units, so putting it here did not work at all. So yeah, a rough round for me. He's got quick supply as well, so he's got a good start to the battle, and I've got elite specialist, so I've got a bad start. So yeah, it's very one-sided at the beginning, but the battle goes on for a very long time, so I do pick up momentum eventually. So he's gone for speed specialist, and I haven't chosen quite yet. I decided to skip. None of them seemed worth the supply while I was low on units. I felt like I needed the units actually on the field rather than going for call-in abilities. So he's going for a double flank on me here with crawlers, which is going to be bad news for us because we haven't got anything covering the flanks. And crawlers are going to swarm over these snipers. So I still haven't deployed anything yet. I'm obviously panicking a little bit, trying to decide what to do next. I still haven't done anything. So I've gone for crawlers, and I've decided to also go for a crawler flank to keep the phoenixes away from my front line as long as possible. So they're not going to survive, but they will delay. Now unfortunately, I still haven't got anything protecting my flanks, so my flanks are going to fall. I'm going to lose 2 snipers, but it has given me some momentum down the middle. And unfortunately he covered his flank with an arc light. But sadly our snipers got held back. I really needed them shooting at the phoenixes. So things just did not pan out very well in that round for me. And we are getting dangerously close to losing. So yeah, a very, very tough start. So I've gone for junior manufacturing, which is a fantastic reinforcement card. And he is going to go for the same. So I brought in a couple of arc lights to help protect the flanks. He's put a rocket down. He's obviously hoping to catch multiple of my units. He's put Phoenix on the flank as well, so that's going to be pretty dangerous for me. I've decided to go for Wasps, and I'm flanking with them, so the Wasps are going to do quite well, while his only anti-air are Phoenixes. So our arc light's doing a good job, and the sniper's going to do a good job. He only managed to kill 1 arc light with that rocket, so it didn't work out for him. Unfortunately, my Wasps got distracted by these units and didn't go after the Phoenixes, which is pretty sad. But things are looking fairly decent over here. Yep, that's looking good. This is looking good as well. So we finally won a round. Huzzah! So there's a couple of different things here that we could go for, but at the moment orbital javelin's not worth it because there's no giants out. He's decided to go for the steel balls. I decided to skip. So I decided to sell the crawler here because I placed it wrong. But this is going to come back to bite me in a minute, because it was delaying them from reaching my units. Without that crawler there, they're not going to be delayed, and they're going to reach this front line a lot quicker. So selling this crawler up here was not a good decision. I've decided to go for 2 snipers on the flank to help deal with the arc lights and the phoenixes. He's gone for steel balls to help deal with the arc light and marksman, potentially reach the tower as well. He's gone for another rocket for some reason, not quite sure why. It didn't work out for him in the previous round, so I don't know why he's gone for that again. So I expected something here, so I decided to bring in some crawlers And obviously I don't want the phoenixes shooting me, so crawlers were the best option to distract the phoenixes. So as you can see now, without the crawlers up here, these are advancing very, very quickly. And I'm taking a lot of time trying to deal with this flank of theirs. So now I've got nothing in front of the tower. Their phoenixes reach the tower. I think they probably would have killed me anyway without reaching the tower. But we did fairly decent over here. We delayed them for a long time, but we still ended up losing. But yeah, selling that crawler up here really did hurt us. And things really don't look too great for me at the moment. So he's gone for a missile strike. He's obviously going to missile strike these up here. But I got the shield drop. So you can put shield drops behind enemy lines. So it's a really good item for protecting flanks. And I've decided to put the wasp swarm over here to help deal with these quicker. Upgrading some units. I've got the elite marksman on the snipers to help with the range, and I've got the range on the arc lights. So I'm bringing in some wasps to help tie up the phoenixes. He still hasn't really got any anti-air to speak of, but obviously it's very easy for him to just buy this one ability. So these wasps might have a short-lived success. But for now, they might save me from losing immediately. So I start them at the back because I want to help deal with the flanks as fast as possible. And I don't want them to advance too far ahead of my front line. So I'll put this unit here just in case a call-in gets called right in the back line. So the wasps are doing a cracking job at helping clear these up. Shield's doing a really good job at delaying them back there. We managed to get in front of the tower this time because we put the shield up. And now the wasps are coming to harass the phoenixes. So things are looking pretty decent this round. But, like I say, it's going to be very easy for them to counter this wasp maneuver. Their crawlers are coming through because unfortunately my arc light walked out of the shield. But we managed to get the tower, so we should stop these crawlers before they take our tower up. And the wasps are doing a great job at cleaning up the phoenixes. So we managed to take the round. And we did a fair amount of health damage too. So he's decided to go for the electromagnetic blast. He obviously really wants to try and take this tower out. So he's going to target the shield that I'm going to be putting up. I eventually decide to go for the orbital bombardment to try and help clear up some of these units to see if I can get this flank to succeed. But he has shielded up. He probably saw that orbital bombardment coming. So I'm leveling up the wasps. So this new aerial specialization not only increases damage, but it also increases the range when targeting air units. But really, it's still half the range of what the Phoenix is, so not really sure if it's worth it or not. I decide not to go for it. And I'm taking a long time to decide what to do. I decide to bring in some arc lights to help cover the snipers, but as you can see, I've only got 5 seconds left. I've run out of time, I've panicked, I've run out of time, and I didn't get time to put my arc lights in position. So they're all just stranded in the centre now. Now, they bring in the Mustangs to deal with the Wasps, but the arc lights are doing a decent job at clearing them up. But oh no, they're still alive. One of them is anyway. So it's worked out fairly well. It's looking like we might win this round as well. Yep. So we take another round. Despite my poor timings on the previous round, not placing everything down in the correct position, I still managed to win the round. So I've gone for Skill Specialist to get the shield, airdrop, wasp swarm and orbital bombardment up quicker. He still hasn't decided what to go for yet. So I'm just currently leveling up all the units that have gained a rank. He still hasn't chosen. So he's obviously struggling to decide what to do as well. He's taking a long time. And he eventually skipped, it looks like. So shielding up, bringing in some more wasps. Now I'm not sure if this is a good idea because I obviously saw that he brought Mustangs in. So bringing in wasps might be a mistake here. I didn't expect him to put his electromagnetic blast here. So I haven't shielded up here. So he's putting a rocket here, but I expected that, so I put the shield up. And off we go. Are these wasps going to survive? Oh, he brought in Stormcallers to deal with the shields, which was a very good decision for him. So my arc lights have not survived this time. So my tower's exposed. Just about managed to kill the steel balls before they took the tower out. But the wasps are getting slaughtered by the Mustangs. But the wasps on this side are still alive. We've got crawlers incoming though, and we haven't got anything to deal with them. So unfortunately their shields have saved the day for them. If they hadn't shielded up, we would have took out the tower and we would have dealt with most of these Mustangs, but instead they took the tower. I'm still stuck shooting at shields and Mustangs are slaughtering my wasps. So it was incredibly close. If he didn't shield up this tower and I would have taken the tower before he did, then this round could have turned out very differently. So we probably would have won that round. But we're still in it. I'm not dead yet. I'm down to 330. He's got 1200. So it's still on a knife edge really. So he's gone for range specialist. And I've also gone for range specialist. And he is just shielding up to oblivion at the moment. He obviously saw how effective shields were in the last round. He's gone for his missile strike over here, so that's going to be bad news for us because we haven't got our shield airdrop to save us. So I'm also shielding up everywhere. what he brought in there. Mustangs. So he's brought in more Mustangs. I've brought in Stormcallers. So obviously, because I didn't have Stormcallers before, he won't have bought the anti-missile targeting yet. So the Stormcallers are going to have a good round this round, but he'll very easily be able to counter them if it goes to another round after this. So it is a bit of a one-trick pony. I went for the enhanced range and increased speed. And the shields are down. And unfortunately, Stormcallers didn't do anything apart from take shields down. Wasps have got slaughtered over here, but we're doing okay on this other side. But this area has fallen. We've done a damn fine job of delaying them, but they just about managed to get the tower before me. Just seconds before me again. So once again, incredibly close. And it looks like we win the round. So we managed to win the round, but we have not got enough units left to actually win the battle. So we only took 500 off him. He's still got 700 left. He decides to skip on this. And I can't decide what to do right now. I see the barrier and I think, is it worth taking the barrier? It's basically a shield every turn. Rather than paying for it every turn, you only pay for it once. But it does mean that I'm going to have to buy a giant to put it on. And obviously giants with elite specialist are very costly. So I really struggle to decide what to do here. So I decide to go for the Vulcans to try and help deal with the Mustangs. But I don't want them walking too far forward in front of the rest of my line. So I stick them quite far back rather than close to the front line. But once again, I am running out of time. And I haven't spent all of my cash yet. I've got quite a lot of units that I need to upgrade. I've only got 18 seconds left. I still haven't put my shield down. Oh, I have now. So I'm just about starting to spend the rest of my cash. But I haven't put all the shields down that I need. I simply ran out of time and I just had enough time to put a crawler down. So sadly, I messed up. I did not spend all of my cash. So, is it going to bite me in the arse, or am I going to survive? I didn't buy any upgrades for the Vulcan either. It really needed a range upgrade. So unfortunately here, he spent all of his time walking instead of shooting. So he didn't do his job because I didn't have the range upgrade. And down goes the tower. And we are nowhere near taking their tower out. So that is how the cookie crumbles. And that is game over. But an incredibly tense and long battle against the highest ranking player I've ever played. I felt like I gave a good account for myself, especially using elite specialists, which I never use, and not going for crawlers or fangs, which obviously I always do. So I played a completely experimental build and I managed to make it all the way to round 10. And if I hadn't have messed up a couple of placements and that final round I didn't spend all my cash, if I hadn't have made them couple of mistakes, I reckon I could have won there. If I'd have put range or the incendiary bomb on the Vulcans, then things could have worked out very differently. I was worried about putting incendiary bomb on because I didn't think it'd reload fast enough to be, because it would have shot over here first, and then obviously my crawlers might have died. So I didn't think the incendiary bomb was a wise decision, but I really should have put the range on them, and then things would have been very different. But nonetheless, a very, very entertaining battle with a ridiculous amount of units on the field. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34 units he had. Then I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So 33 versus 30. So yeah, epic battle. Hope you enjoyed it. Join me in the next one, and we shall see what unfolds in that one. So cheers for watching, take care, I shall see you soon.